happy food. That's why Jonathan Collins is with us today. These recipes, this is what I love about the recipes. So these recipes have been around for a long time because this is a recipe from your oma, your grandma.
That's right, my oma and opa.
Your oma and opa.
Yeah, they immigrated from the Netherlands.
We've got pictures. I'm just floored by these pictures. So
I love the pictures.
This picture of your entire family getting off a plane, coming to Canada, came to Montreal.
Came into Montreal, came in on one of those old DC-3 tail draggers. Nothing but the clothes on their back and just probably just a couple dollars. They came in, and it's a very classic kind of Canadian, you know, immigrant rags to riches type story.
That's
Absolutely.
right. Although, you know what? They're wearing good clothes, which doesn't happen in the airport.
Hey, you got to know my oma. They would be sharp. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it was all about, you know, traveling. Getting on a plane was a very big deal. You're going to a new country. You're going to start a life. Like, they're wearing good pea coats and like with proper buttons and hats. And I think it's just amazing to look back. And I think it's amazing that this recipe has stood the test of time, because now you are making it for us. What are we going to make?
So we're making two versions of a very rustic meal. We're making Hutspot and Stamppot, and they're literally just two versions of a potato, onion, apple mash.
Okay.
The difference, so you can see here, and this is one of the great things about this dish, is everything is in one pot. So you start off with potatoes, you layer kale and apple and onion, and you top it with the smoked sausage.
Nice.
So you just literally put that in about an inch of water and bring it to a boil, and within an hour, you've got a large, hearty meal, enough to feed a large group of people.
And there were a lot of kids.
Always a lot of kids.
So you need a lot of food.
You need a lot of food. My mom would always say that they would fight for the sausages, you know, that would be the premium.
Yes.
But the nice thing about both of these dishes is that they use inexpensive ingredients that most of us have around the house all the time.
Right.
So it's literally just a matter of peeling some potatoes, which is quite simple.
Yeah.
And quartering the potatoes so that they'll all boil and cook more or less at the same time.
Okay.
And then in this case, we've got the Hutspot, which is just peeling carrots and very simply cutting them up. Again, you want to make sure when you're making a mash like this, everything is roughly the same size so that when it does cook, it cooks evenly. So I'm literally just breaking it down.
Did you have special jobs? I mean, I know this goes back a couple of generations, but was there something that you were assigned to do when it came to these kinds of meals?
Kids always have to peel, right?
You gotta do the peeling.
You're always doing the peeling.
Yes.
You're like the benevolent mother. She's like, could you peel that for me? And what are you going to say? You're going to say no?
No, you got to peel it.
So I'm gonna put this in your hands because this was in my oma's hands in the old country. I was fortunate enough to get the ladle that she actually served some families when she was there as well.
That is beautiful.
And so of course that's what she used to serve her family for generations, and then this ended up in my hands as well.
Beautiful. What a keepsake and a memento. You know, all of us sort of think back to our grandmas and our great grandmas when it comes to recipes. So simple, but the reason why it stood the test of time is because this is nutritious comfort food.
It is, and so it's also simple in terms of the principles. So you have all of those ingredients cooking together, but the sausage is really the key. Because it's smoked, it's getting all that salt and all that smoke flavor down inside that. And then to finish it up, literally all that you have to do is just mash it. And without any, you know, power tools or anything inexpensive, you can literally just bring this together in a nice fine mash. And what you end up with is this kind of voluptuous, nice, and it's really nice because it holds the kind of gravy and also brings it together in a really nice way.
That is good.
So let's keep making a few. I'll show you a few more cuts here because later on we have coming up some knife skills. And you know,
I'm scared about that.
No need to be afraid. It's going to be a great segment. It's going to be simple. You know, the most important thing is to have a good sharp knife.
Yes.
And then you know, especially when you're making a dish like this, really simple cuts are all that you need because everything is coming together in a mash.
Right.
So literally, as long as everything's roughly the same size,
you're okay.
You're good to go.
It doesn't have to get fancy spancy. It doesn't have to be diced teeny tiny.
It doesn't. It's really simple. And interesting story. These are some red Prince apples. This is actually these are actually grown by an immigrant family. Only one here, one grower in the country, and they're cellar aged and they come into season just now. But they're perfect for this because the classic Stamppot and Hutspot didn't always have apple, but we've added apple, or my Oma did, because it would make it a little more sweeter.
Sweet.
And especially when you're talking about the kale, it would just help to sweeten it up a little bit. But you're talking about, first of all, when you're putting these together, you've got all the ingredients. You're not losing any nutrition.
Yep.
You know, you're not boiling anything away. Everything is concentrated and in one beautiful dish.
And you're not adding anything.
No, you're not adding anything.
That's why you need an apple for sweetness. Like, there's no sugar going in. There isn't anything extra going in. This is whole foods, and it's the way that I think people are trying to eat more like these days.
Well, and especially if you're running out of time and you need something quick in the kitchen, you can just simply grab some potatoes and carrots and onion and apples, put it in a pot, top some sausage, and put it on and kind of walk away, set the lid on and walk away from it. You're good to go.
And then you ladle it out for all 13 of the children.
That's right.
Out it goes. That's right.
Keep mashing.